Oh my goodness, out of park. What's up, everybody? Welcome to Chronicles Chef. I'm Scott Hamilton, and today we're going to roast a whole chicken. We got the holidays coming in hot around the corner these days. Turkey is going to be the star in a couple of weeks. So we're not going to do a whole turkey today. We're going to do a whole chicken, but we are going to really focus on how to break down that beautifully cooked turkey or poultry bird. Doesn't matter. You want to do duck, you want to do goose, chicken, poultry, any of those whole birds, whether you spatchcock it, you fry it, you smoke it, you oven roast it, doesn't matter. We're going to talk about how to really make sure that you carve it just right so that it doesn't ruin it. And that all that hard work, all those hours of preparation, days of thawing, brining, all the things you do, don't go to waste because you try to cut it like they do in the movies. And that's just not what you're going to do. It's going to ruin it. Don't do it, please. But we're going to put on we're going to cook it over a bed of root vegetables, getting our side cooked all at the same time. We got some cabbage. We're going to do like a little slaw. We're going to go more of like a Mexican and Cuban inspired flavor profile using Escalante seasoning from High Desert Kitchen. I'm stoked. This is going to be delicious. Let's get cooking.
All right, let's get working on our mise en place. So we got our cilantro. We're going to cut those stems off, use those later. Now we're going to do kind of like a chiffonade. We're going to fold it in half and then run our knife through just a couple times. We want the cilantro nice and chunky. Oregano, we're going to peel those leaves right off the stem. We're going to pick them and then just run our knife through. With this one, we're going to do a little bit more finely than our cilantro. But again, we're going to keep those stems for later. Now, our pre-chopped, pre-cut, frozen, ready to go root vegetables. We got some King's Peak, just to kind of give a little bit of variety. King's Peak and the Escalante play really well together. A little orange zest to tie in the Escalante, a little oil, salt, pepper. Give it a good mix and get it ready to go. We're not worried about flavoring this too much. We want a solid base, but we don't need to worry about too much salt or anything like that because it's going to go right underneath the chicken. All that chicken fat's going to drip down right onto it. Speaking of our chicken, let's get going on prepping our chicken. I like to wear gloves. You don't have to, but I am going to reuse that bowl that we seasoned all of those root vegetables in. It's a great way to keep my cutting board clean. Also, way to add more flavor to the chicken. We always want to make sure we're pat and dry our chickens. It's going to help with our skin. It's going to help things adhere to it. So yeah, always pat it dry if we want a crispy skin. Now, a little bit of oil. We're going to hit with our Escalante seasoning, nice cumin and chipotle and orange and cinnamon. Oh, it's going to be delicious. It's going to be great on this chicken. Now, we're going to slice some oranges. We're going to have some of those hold up parts of the chicken and other pieces of the orange are going to go into the cavity. Here, I'm just rubbing about two or so tablespoons of butter underneath the skin. That fat's going to really help keep those breasts moist. In the cavity of the chicken, I'm doing the orange slices and then the stems of the oregano. We're going to tuck in the wings and again, use those orange wedges to help hold up those thighs. We're not going to tie this bird at all. Throw it in the oven. It's set to 425. It's going to take about an hour.
All right, now chicken's in the oven, root vegetables in the oven, everything's roasting away. Got the cool little probe in there. See how that works. Very excited. Let's get working on our slaw. We're going to start with some red cabbage. I did like a half one just because I didn't want to make that massive amount of a slaw. But what we are going to do is I'm going to kind of quarter this, and that will give us kind of the length of what I want. So we got quarters there, and then now we're just going to run my knife through. If you want to buy a bag of pre-shredded cabbage, do it. Now, because we're going with this size, right, we want to make sure that all of our other things that we're cutting is in a similar kind of format. So, start with our cucumbers. All right, so we want to make sure that we de-seed because we want to minimize the liquid coming from the cucumber into the cabbage in this slaw. But we de-seed it. With it being quartered, our half moons are going to be a very similar size to our cabbage, which is perfect. So we're just going to run a knife through and get these all matching so that when you get a forkful or a spoonful or whatever, it's going to have a similar texture throughout the entire slaw. On to the next. Tomatoes, we're also going to de-seed, and we're also going to slice in a similar kind of fashion. Because, again, I'm just wanting that similar textures throughout. So we are going to get rid of this guy and kind of All right. Tomatoes are done. They're looking beautiful. Excited for the color. Excited for that sweet and the acid that they're going to bring to the dish. It's going to be delicious. Now, onion, we're going to do it in a similar fashion. This time around, we're just going to kind of get our ends off, and we're just going to kind of rainbow through the onion. So, all right, we're just going to go. But again, we're wanting them really, really nice and thin. We're going to do the jalapeno the same way. We're going to do our best. Ooh. This one smells like it's got some heat. I like it. I am going to take the seeds out of this jalapeno just because I don't want too much heat. I also don't want the texture of the seeds kind of messing with this great texture component that we're building in this slaw. We're going to throw in our tomatoes and onions and jalapenos. Now we're just going to give this a quick little toss. We're going to add in oregano and some cilantro to kind of brighten things up and give it an extra layer of freshness. Oh man, not even putting anything else in it. It smells delicious. We're going to go some garlic, just a little bit. We are going to sprinkle a little Escalante in here. Hit it with a little lime. Put that in there. And then we are going to use all of the juice of this singular lime. I don't have a citrus press juicer thing, so I like to cut my straight edges instead of wedges, and I get a whole lot of juice out of it that way. Or you say I need a whole lot of lime juice and you use a carton, and that's fine too. Oh my goodness, this deliciousness. I don't want to eat this all day. This is delicious. All right, get cleaned up. Let's make a sauce. All right, we're gonna make a super simple sauce. We're just gonna make a little orange-chipotle crema. We're gonna use some sour cream. We're gonna use chipotle in adobo. We're gonna use a couple of the chipotle peppers and a little bit of adobo, and then the zest of an orange, of course. Gonna hit it with some garlic. Do about a tablespoon. Finish off our oregano. Cilantro stems in there. We're gonna start with that much and see if we need to add more as we go. We are also going to add Escalante. And we're also going to throw a little bit of King's Peak in there just to kind of help round out with some of the other sweet notes. Decent amount of salt. And then we're going to give this guy a blend. All right, now that we've got this blended nice and smooth. Oh, first of all, the smell. Oh my goodness. Oh. Man, that is good. That's phenomenal. Let's get this into like a squirt bottle or something. Let's get cleaned up. Chicken is about there. Let's get ready to eat. I'm hungry. Let's go. Ooh, that chicken is looking good. It was skin so crispy. The thing is juicy. Look at all that juice running down over all those vegetables. Oh, I am so excited. This is so good. The edges were a little crispy. The root vegetables were cut a little smaller than I would have liked to cut them myself. But flavor-wise, you can taste the chicken. The Escalante comes down. King's Peak comes through strong. They're phenomenal. Now, main event here, we're doing our chicken. We're going to follow the joint lines. They're going to tell us where to cut. Now, after we've done our little incision to cut the skin a little bit to loosen up those thigh bones, or the chicken thighs, we're going to follow that joint. We're going to cut it drumstick. There's our first drumstick. There's our thigh. Following the bone, the chest bone, straight down. We're just going to let our knife follow along the rib cage, and it's going to just peel it away. Look at that. See how we didn't cut right onto the chicken? We're cutting all the pieces off. It's going to give us 8 pieces. You can pop the joint and then cut through. This is the oyster. Always eat that yourself. Don't share it. You did all the work. You deserve all that glory of the chicken oyster. But
as we break down our last, or we got our chicken breast, our last one coming off. And you can just figure out what order works best for you, depending on how you want to hold it up. But we got our 8 pieces, right? We got our 2 wings, we got our 2 thighs, we got 2 drumsticks, and then we got our 2 breasts. Now we're going to slice our breasts against the grain, so across the grain, so that's going to keep it from being chewy. And look at that. It's nice and juicy. We got skin for everybody. Everyone gets a little bit of everything, and it is beautiful. Let's make a delicious platter, because I feel like this holiday season, center pieces are going to be big. We're going to put all of our stuffing, or our veggies, in the middle. We got that slaw to bring some color, a little chipotle sauce on the top, greenery on top. Look at that platter. It's fit for a holiday table, or just any table. Now, for an individual plate, we're going to give ourselves a little pile of the root vegetables, chicken to wrap around, a little slaughter in the middle to kind of give us a color break, and then a little drizzle of that sauce. And ooh, look at that plate. It is looking delicious.
All right, let's dig in. I've tried the veggies a couple of times. I've had the salad throughout. I just need to try this chicken. Oh man, the orange comes through. It's bright. It's refreshing. The Escalante is delicious. Got that cinnamon, that warmth, the chipotle's in it. This is so delicious. The crema with the chicken was phenomenal. We got this veggies to work with now. Chicken. The brightness and the crunch of the slaw. Oh, the freshness of it with the deep richness of these root vegetables. And you got the smoky, delicious heat and that fat richness from the crema. And then the chicken's just delicious. It's nice and moist. It has a good texture to it. It's not falling apart. It's holding, but it's melted. Oh, man. Delicious. And I also think that we need to eat it like in the tortilla. Ooh. Home run. Oh my goodness. Out of park. Let's go. This is delicious. All right. This is so good. I'm loving it. This is so good. I am so excited to finish eating this. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you learned some new things. I hope you learned some tips, tricks. I hope that you are a little bit more feeling prepared on attacking and getting that carving just right for your turkey, chicken, poultry needs, whatever down the road. Remember to experiment and to play and have fun. Just because you're cooking a roasted chicken like French style or whatever doesn't mean that you can't use other flavors and make delicious things. Like, subscribe, do all those fun things. Make sure you hit the alert button so you know when my videos pop up. And let me know what you're doing for this Thanksgiving and these holidays. What fun, special thing that you're going to try out at your table this year. See you next time. All day. I can do this all day. I'm so happy right now.